Right, everything should be working. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and Xenos of all ladies, to another Tactica Imperialis live stream. I know that's not my typical intro, but there you go. So, it is Wednesday, 14th of March today, and I hope you're all having a pretty good time. I've had a pretty decent weekend myself. Parents and family have been over for the weekend, come and see me over in France, which has been really, really good just to catch up with people and get a break from the whole uni business. And yeah, generally not been a bad weekend. I mean, today's been an interesting day in the physics world, obviously, but yeah, volume. I've not tweaked the volume, so is there a problem? Have I knocked the volume knob or something? I don't. It's quiet. I didn't think I'd knocked the volume knob. Hold on. Okay. Does that? No, that's the output. That's what I can hear. No, not that. Okay, the audio's really quiet. Wonder why that is. Let me see what I can do. Audio. Oh, it's not there. Output. Audio. Nope, it's not there. Nope, it's not there. How do I turn the volume up? How do I change like a threshold volume? I don't even know how you do that. I don't even know how one does that. So all I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to put more echo on my mic. I'm not sure how you actually fiddle with the blooming microphone volume. Let's go to here. That's just the device, that's not anything else. I'm not actually sure how you fiddle with the volume knob, because that's maxed. Advanced audio, yeah. Ah, that's how I could do it. I could turn that up to, shall we say 110%? Yeah, let's just take that to 110%. Oh, what do you want, YouTube? What are you telling me? Oh, great. Apparently video output is low as well. That's, yep. Frame rate's garbage. Why does this always happen? Why does this always happen? I can't get a stream where everything just works. Why can't I have a stream where everything just works? Okay, let's turn that up to 125. See if that helps. Apologies. Certainly was not my intention. Okay, it's good enough. Okay. That's something. The volume's good enough now. I might have even turned it up too high because of the delay on the chat. So the volume's good, that's something. Hopefully. Why can't I just maintain 30 cocking FPS? Like, seriously, how hard is it to have 30 FPS? It's not hard. God damn it, stream. I'm not dropping frames at all. It's not giving me a decent frame rate. And I don't know why it won't just give me a decent bloody frame rate. I mean, I could set it to be like, I don't know. I know there's probably no need to stress, it's just really frustrating. It's like every stream is one thing or another. It's like something breaks every time. I never fiddle with the settings. I never fiddle with them. And something always breaks. And it's just annoying. It's just really, really annoying. But anyway, there we go. I fiddle with the volume settings and hopefully it's not too laggy. And if it is, I do apologise. Yeah. There is no local tech priest. Have you not noticed? There is no local tech priest, I'm afraid. Anyway, yeah, you've got audio. I don't do much on the screen because there's not a huge amount to talk about in the news this week. Plus, with the Adeptus Podcastus being in the upcoming week, a lot of the news I could talk about here on stream would just be me talking about it long length versus the slightly more discussion format we get on the podcast. So I'm more than happy to go over the stuff. So we've got the stuff for Forge Bane, some of the preview for the Necrons. I'm trying to think what else we've got actually. What else have we got in the news this week? Because I've not been off the grid per se. I've just sort of not been super on the. That's the wrong link. Genius. And now the frame rate's gone through the floor. There's that, and there's that. I think everything else I've already discussed. Yeah, we discussed all that before. So there's a little bit of stuff I can talk about news-wise, but there's not much. Yeah, the Baby Knights, the Knight Armatures, they've got their a preview of some of their rules. I don't think we've got their costs yet, but we've got some of their rules. We also got a bit of a look into the Cryptech with the Canoptech Cloak. Have you heard about the rumour about the Crude Codex? I have heard very, very little nothing. Like, I've seen a couple of video and post titles, but I've not read it. Truthfully, I've not read them at all, because if that's a thing, that's lovely, but no. Hefty salt applied to that. Huge amounts of salt must be applied to any rumour about a codex that doesn't exist yet, particularly when there are other factions that don't have their book yet. You really do need to take that with a massive pinch of salt. Yeah, that's really, really laggy. I don't know why it lags so badly. Also, beta version of Necron Codex. If it's a leak, I don't care. I've sort of gone off looking at leaks. Like, I try and make a point that until I see it on Warhammer Community or someone's got the book in their hand post-release, I don't look. I don't look because I don't care. I'll either take it with a huge pinch of salt and be like, okay, that's interesting, we'll see, or I just won't look at it at all because I just don't care. I mean, by all means discuss it, but I'm in no position to comment on it because I just don't know and I don't particularly care. Plus, GW are really good with handling leaks these days. So, like, the Necron Dynasty traits got leaked like 3 or 4 days, like 5 days ago, and the Necron Warlord, the Dynasty traits then were on Warhammer Community yesterday. They are very quick at getting things back in order. I'm alright. I was a bit ill yesterday, but otherwise I can't really complain much. So yes, not so bad. Thank you very much. Please maintain a solid 30 FPS. Can you do that? Probably not. Thing is, I could turn it up to like 60, but I just, like, I know that I'll just send my CPU to hell and I'll just drop an arse load of frames. Oh, the Baby Knights. We'll stop calling them that. They're called Knight Armature Warglaves if we're going to be technical. I mean, I know people will call them Baby Knights until the cows come home, but their official name is Armature Warglaves. Alright, let's try and do the news. Excuse me. Let us try and do the news. So... Yep, that's in the right place. Okay. I like the Old Man Russ rumor, which says that he's like Odin, just a bit less impulsive. Yeah, but then that takes away who Russ is. Like, Guilliman is still Guilliman, he's just got a bit more flexibility. Like, you take the impulse and the warrior spirit out of Russ, that's not Russ. I mean, it is Russ, but it's not really Russ. So, if that is true and that's what they do with Russ, then I much prefer the idea of like Wolf and Russ, if I'm honest. Like, Wolf and Russ is still probably my favourite idea. And why is the frame rate so garbage? Why does the frame rate have to be trash? But anyway, let's do the news. Okay, so the Knight Armiger Warglaives. These are quite are they? No, they're just Armiger Warglaives. They're not Knight Armiger at all. They're just Armiger Warglaives. So these guys are a smaller version of the Imperial Knight that has very high speed and options. We don't know how many options they're going to have in their official rules, nor can we really compare that with just the models that we've got in the box. We shall have to see. So, lore-wise, they actually have bothered to give us a bit of lore detail, which is always very nice. Thank you, GDubs. And it says that they are the lightest of their class, but also very powerful, harkening back to an ancient martial tradition, that of a mounted lord hunting with bondsmen. While the prey may have gotten deadlier and the hunt fiercer, the principle is the same, with pairs of armigers guarding the flanks of the knights and ranging ahead to slay any potential threats. Good evening, Eldari. Russ, the cranky old man, will still beat the bleep out of you, but he'll think about it for a moment first. Russ being killed first, ask questions later is always, like, that's Russ's gimmick. Like, as much as Angron was always the murder machine, Russ was always, like, kill first, ask questions later when told. Like, that's kind of, like, warrior without peer, pretty much, but ferociously loyal to the point he just wouldn't question his orders. And I think they kind of have to stick with that, because that's his gimmick. Like, Gilliman is a diplomat, but, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think that would be quite good, because then what's the difference between him and another warrior Primarch who's just, like, good in a fight, but has a conscience? Yeah. See, the dual form of Russ is true. Marathi paved the way for it. That would be intriguing to have a transformation, although that's not the way Wolfen works. So, like, if you go Wolfen, you're gone. You're just gone. Although, to be fair, Marathi maintains her oracle form through, like, magical illusion and transfiguration with, like, her magic. And then when she snaps, she transforms back. Thanks, Rowan. Appreciate that. So yes, the Knight Armigers. I'll keep calling them that, even though they're Armiger Warglaives. Albeit much less prestigious honour than piling a knight, drawn from the lesser nobility from distant cousins of the ruling house to commoners and lowborns uplifted by virtue of their talent for war. That's nice. Just some nice bit of flavour text, and it's always good to have flavour text. So, first thing to note, they are Lords of War. That is important to note. They are Lords of War, and they're 3 per slot if you want them to be. So what makes that so clever is you could easily spam these guys in a Supreme Command detachment and just pile out a bunch of command points. Or if you want to go on the cheap, you only need 3. And they also suggest putting 2 with a full-on knight because, well, 1, that's lore accurate, according to what was just above, that is lore accurate. And 2, it's a nice balance. You're not just relying on the small guys, you've got a bit more power in the big guys as well. So that will probably work quite nicely, and I think that's going to be quite common. Not to say it was a human raised to a spectrum, it was made, that's wrong. I know that. But, like I say, Marathi maintains her form through magic and illusion. She can magically hold herself in check. Russ doesn't have that psychic ability if he has any at all. Russ, but with more wise old man who'll still beat the crap out of you with a stick. Isn't that just Gilliman? Isn't that just Gilliman? Very wise, very old, been around the block, knows his stuff, really powerful in a fight. That's just Gilliman. Be aware. We have to be careful to keep the Primarchs still distinct from one another, especially the Imperial ones. The mic is not turned down, the mic is actually turned up relative to normal. It's just decided to have a really quiet volume output for no damn reason. I don't know why, I'm very annoyed about it, I apologise, but if I turn it up much louder, then I don't know what it will come out in post. It might just be that it's glitched for you lot. I don't know. And it's really frustrating. It just is. So, carrying on. So, this is the fun stuff, I think. Yep, here we go. So, they have a 14-inch move, toughness 7, 12 wounds, and a 3+ save along with the Ion Shield, which is the typical defense of the Imperial Knight, which is not bad. I haven't really looked into how tough an Imperial Knight is, but toughness 7, 12 wounds, and a 3+ save is serviceable. It will depend on their cost, but serviceable. Why would Rust not change at all? I get that. It's only 10,000 years, but I get that. Like, why would Rust not change? Yeah, I know, but they have to be careful to keep everybody distinct. Like, Mortarion is very different from Magnus, is very different from Fulgrim, is very different from Angron, is very different from Pert. If Rust loses his sort of impulsive nature compared to a Guilliman, admittedly Guilliman might go diplomacy first, I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm yawning so much. Probably because, yeah, just not feeling 100%. But yeah, I just don't want all the Primarchs to feel the same. And you've just to be careful that if you don't keep them extremely distinct, they will all feel the same. That's my concern. It's not what they are, and I want to see character evolution, sure, but you just have to be careful that they don't end up feeling the same. That's all I'll say about that. But I do get what you're saying. Yeah, I'm not saying you're wrong, guys. It's like, it's just, I think they'd have to be careful how they handled it. That's all I'll say. The Emperor did magic on the Sister Silence to get this kill. So, Source. I mean, it might be in Watchers of the Throne. Who the flip knows? Here's the history. Yeah, maybe. There's arguments both ways. There's absolutely arguments both ways on that. So I'm not going to say you're right. I'm not going to say I'm right. It's both of us have valid arguments, and I think if they implement Rust, they'll just have to be careful how they handle it in any event. Like, do they go full on psycho Wolfen route, or do they try and savvy him up a bit? I think either way will be unique and interesting. They've just got to be careful. Yeah, I think that's what I'll say about that. So, I've talked about the durability of the Knight Armigers. So, toughness 7, 12 wounds, 3+ save, Ion Shield. He could be a unit with a pair of Thunder Wolves. Well, he had Fenrisian Wolves back in the day. He had 2 Fenrisian Wolves, or like Mega Fenrisian Wolves, with him in 30k, so him having them now would be no surprise. Honestly, I wouldn't be shocked to see that. Why am I yawning so much? It's very annoying. So, the Thermal Spear, 30-inch range, Assault D3, Strength 8, AP 4, Damage D6. Roll 2 dice, hit the highest for damage if you're within half range. So a D3 shot long range multi-melter for a gun. That's pretty powerful. I mean, I don't know what their ballistic skill is. I'm going with 3+, just off the top of my head. I'm going with 3+, although it could be 4s. It's probably going to be 4s, actually, particularly if they want them to not be on the same level as the Knight. It's probably going to be 4s. So yeah, that's not bad. You're probably going to get 1 wound that becomes decent. You're going to get 1 damage roll out of that on average. Because D3 averages 2, then you'll hit once, you'll probably wound. Yeah, you're probably going to get 1 damage roll, you might get 2, but it's still pretty good. And it is Assault. It is Assault. And then for melee, Strength times 2, AP 3, damage 3, and we now know that it is Strength 12. So the Knight basic is Strength 6, which is good. Volume seems to, the volume is up, but the microphone, something somewhere has decided, let's just have the volume way down for no damn reason. I don't get it. I just don't get it. Like, why there's just lag. Right, I'm going to turn the volume up another 10%. So it's now at 135% on my screen for context. Aside from rules or any other products in the warp, from Rust, Korax is believed to be. Vulcan, who the hell knows. Khan is believed to be Webway. Gilliman, dead, sleeping, warp, Webway, missing, dead, believed dead. Yeah, so just Korax. The Court Mechanicus Walker seem outclassed by this if its points are reasonable. Are you referring to the Omega Dune Crawler, or are you referring to the actual Imperial Knight there? Giving knowledge of the 40k universe, what are your thoughts on what will happen when the Emperor finally kicks the bucket? We discussed this on the podcast, actually. We discussed it on the... Okay, I've just twiddled the USB port for my mic, so the volume just shot up, you know why. So yeah, we discussed it on the podcast, I think, that if the Emperor dies, then Terra gets swallowed up by a warp storm, and at that point everything goes to hell in a handbasket. So the Astronomicon goes out. What else happens? Yeah, everything just goes to hell. Everything just goes to hell if the Emperor dies. Terra is lost, the Astronomicon goes out. Yeah, it's bad. It's really, really bad. Which walkers, though? Are you referring to the... Do you think Dawn is dead? He probably should be, really. I think it's best if he is dead, because that just puts all the debate to bed. So, when you say walkers, are you referring to the Dune Crawler, or are you referring to the two Skitarii runny things, like the Lancer and the Ballistarius? Just like, what are you referring to when you say walkers? Also, bear in mind that they're not sharing a slot. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. 10,000 years of warp radiation, would Korax now be looking like a giant feather boy? We don't know. Honestly, like, the warp can do weird stuff. I think if Russ comes back all mutated on Wolfen, you might be able to like make something out of that, but until we get Russ or Korax back, it'll be hard to say what the warp has probably done to them. We don't know where Dawn is. We know where Dawn's hand is, but we don't know where Dawn is. So yeah, 4 attacks, strength 12, AP 3, damage 3. Yeah, you'll get bogged down by hordes. As you lack the ability to fall back and shoot. Yeah, these guys are Lords of War. They're 3 per slot, up to 3 per slot, but they are Lords of War. Assumedly, it's so that you can not spam them, but you know what I mean. You can get them into a Supreme Command attachment nice and safely, while still leaving space for, so what I'm looking for here, your Dune Crawlers, your Castellan Battle Robots, your other things like that. Basically, it's to stop them clogging up the heavy slot. They've probably stuck them in the Lord of War slot for that reason. So that's definitely, they're an interesting unit. We'll have to see what their points look like. I'm going to go with it. They're in the region of about 200 to 300, I would say. Yeah. This is the most amount of interest Korax has ever had. Pah! I'd like to say you're wrong, but at the same time, maybe Trazen has Dawn. There is no evidence to suggest so, and actually, the answer to that question is no, because in Fabius Bile Clone Lord, I believe, when Trazen gets his hands on a certain Primarch, he says, "This is my first one." So Trazen cannot have Dawn from all the way back in M31 or 2-ish, because when he got this Primarch much, much later, he remarks that that's his first one. So Trazen does not have Dawn. And if you want to know more about Fabius Barclone, you can tune into it as podcasters this week, where we will be having, of course, Josh Reynolds on. Of course Titans are better, but Titans cost an arseload more and are not in the Codex, so on a Forge world, so they're not, you'd have to be taking separate attachments for them. I know Titans are always going to be better. Like, Titans are always going to be better. We know that. I know I'm quiet. I can't do anything about it. I've turned my mic up by 35% past normal, and it's just really quiet. I don't know why. I just thought, wait, let's actually just unplug the mic and plug it back in again. So let's see what happens if I do that. Still new to the hobby. Are these mini knights completely new with their previous incarnations? As far as I'm aware, they're new. No, that's the Termite Assault Drills from Epic. These guys, yeah, I knew the audio was gone. I unplugged the mic and plugged it back in again. Yeah. It's going to be really interesting to just, I want to see what happens they cost and how much they fit into the army. I think that's going to be the important bit. Yeah, there should be audio now. Like I say, I plugged the mic back in. Loud again. Ha! Was it a case of volume? Oh god, loud. Okay, I'm going to put the volume back down to about 110. Spam clicking. That's ever so slightly above average, above normal for a stream. Warhound costs 2,000, Reaver costs 4,000, the Warlord costs 6,000 if I remember correctly. Ouch. Fix the mic but scared. My apologies. My apologies. Je suis désolé. Now let's have a look at this crypt tech whilst we're here, because that also has the Necron stuff in it. All the little bits of teaser that we have for the upcoming Codex Necrons, which also confirms that Drukhari have to wait the longest, so lol Drukhari. Screw it, I'm having minstrels. My parents really did me a solid when they, I'm sorry about the volume. I took it out and I plugged it back in again. In fact, I'm going to go back to 100% just to stop any feedback. Oh, excuse me. I thought he said I almost got one of those, which could mean he almost got the real Fulgrim or another clone. Beside the point, he hasn't had one before, so he doesn't have Dawn. Beside the point. Yes, I wasn't trying to channel Conrad Kurz, you're fine. But yeah, my parents did me a proper solid when they came out here. Because they brought me a sort of discount Easter egg in the form of a lint bunny, so thank you parents. And they also bought me a pile of Galaxy, including minstrels. And let me tell you, you can't get Galaxy and minstrels in France. You just can't. Nowhere. Only in celebrations. Literally, only in a packet of celebrations do you get Galaxy. And you get two. 2 pieces. That's it. That's not good enough. And I'm solidly a fan of Galaxy, so I'm so glad that I've got Galaxy now. So, yeah, sorry, not apologising. I'm going to be having minstrels this stream, and I know that they're crunchy, but I don't give a damn because screw that. Minstrels. Actually, that's just... Okay, if they're 300th then I like them, but sometimes it's going to trouble for them. Yeah, of course they are. Of course they are. Like, they're only baby knights at the end of the day. They're not going to be ripping up land raiders left, right and centre. Although they do connect really well. 3 hits at strength, 3 shots at strength 8, damage D6. That can hurt a land raider a lot. Just to bear in mind. Actually, Rowan, could you do me a favour? I'm going to make a decision that I'm probably going... Are rhinos still squishy snacks for anti-tank units? Probably, but not so much. Like, it takes me... Like, my broadsides with, like, having to 2-shot chimeras. At best, they were 2-shotting. Like, 2 rounds of shooting to kill chimeras. Rhinos, I think, are a bit flimsier than that. But, yeah. So I was speculating 250-ish. Now, that's fair. 250-ish is fair. It'll just be interesting to see how they do it. And I think the rhinos are not... I don't know how rhinos really stack up because I've not actually played against a rhino. Rowan, I'm going to do something very, very unintelligent. Welcome to Modhood. I would like you, if you would, to create a straw poll for me, because I want to have a little vote with the chat. I want to have a little vote about a little bit of a give back Q&A. So, I'm showing you know how to make a straw poll. So if you would you make one and just have a little... get one ready and then I'll specify it once you're ready. just going to fiddle with this because it's really dark. It's really dark. Ah! Can we just call the mods Ethereals or Imperials? You're certainly not calling them Ethereals on my chat. God no. Farsight Enclaves all the way, bro. Ready. Right. The vote I would like you to do is pretty much it's either a 3 or a 4. A 3 or a 4 poll. And the question I wanted to ask is Eldar or Eldari? So Eldar, Eldari, don't care / don't mind. If there's a 4th option I need to put in there, if you want to put a 4th option in there, you can. I'm just curious to see what the chat has to say, because I get like every time the name Eldari gets mentioned, or I revert back to saying Eldar, somebody just likes to laugh at me, and it's like you know the name change is stupid. Why do you even bother? Yada yada yada. It's like I just want to sort of get a bit of a. I know it's only a tiny amount of people because there's only like about 10 or 15 people watching, but how many people are here actually? Probably won't be loads given the amount of lag that we've got. Okay, there's 15 people here. Okay. Units die too slowly in 8th. It depends on the unit, really. Like, some stuff dies really, really quickly. Like, infantry can just melt. When you create the straw poll, just spam it in the chat a couple of times. Just let people go and click it. Because I like doing straw polls when we were naming the Lord of Kilo way back when. When are they planning to release that 3-legged Titan Engine of the Beast Arises? Well, if they do the Beast series after they finish 30k the tabletop game, they might do it then. But I don't think we're going to see it in 40k. It'll be a lost test DC by now. Things die more quickly, Nate. I think your average model will die much more quickly, but some stuff just does not die. Now, I guarantee you, if it's Rowan, he's created a Mimi 4th option. Because I know what Rowan's like. Rowan, your link's broken. On peut réessayer. On peut réessayer. C'est bien. C'est bon. C'est bon. I do prefer Asayani to Craft Wars. You've got to be careful though. You can't just say Asayani for the entire. A lot of people make the mistake of saying Eldari for the Craft Worlders, but it's not. People get that confused quite a lot, actually, I've noticed. What is the percentage of narrative armies built compared to competitive armies that you've seen? Bear in mind, I haven't played 40k in like... I played one game of 40k in the past 6 months. And that, well, was it one? Yeah, one. And that was a full-on narrative mission against one of my friends on New Year's Eve. And also, my gaming community at home is quite small. Most of us sort of like to mix between narrative and competitive. Like, there's some people who are out-and-out power gamers, and there are some people who are out-and-out narratives, but most of us try and mix between the two. So, I don't know. You might be better at the things you can't really ask. You'd have to do that as like a community-wide survey. Like, go on to Tactica and start a poll or something. Will HH after it's ended just be called 30k? But it depends on if they advance it past Heresy. If they continue the game past the end of the Horus Heresy, they might call it Warhammer 30k. But if it just stays in the Horus Heresy, they'll call it the Horus Heresy. I wish named characters to take artifacts. Yeah, it's definitely it's a balance thing, and it's also a bit of a plot thing. Like, it's mainly a balancing, but it's also a bit of a plot thing, I guess. Need to up the AP on a few weapons due to killing guardsmen takes ages. Yeah, I noticed that my tower pulse rifles certainly have a lot less punch than they used to do. But if you follow the logic of... Did it fail again? The Harlequins have a name. I mentioned it in their redo thing. What are they called? The Riliatan. Riliatan? Something like that. Okay, if it's not working, it's not working, but yeah. Have there been whispers about Roman's getting a tech priest master who can do live streams? Not that I've heard. That would be very fun if so, but not that I've heard. Also, you can stream without visuals, you know that. Like, I personally don't because it would just be a pain in the arse, but I don't mind doing it because I do a lot of hand gestures. You might have noticed that when I am talking about something, I do a lot of hand gestures. So it kind of helps that I've got myself on screen. Some people who don't need hand gestures and just are good at explaining things, maybe not. It was on Lexa Cotton. Let me go and have a look to see if what they use as their source. Nobody called me out on it in the video on them. Balls. It doesn't say. Okay, it's not exactly sourced as to where that name comes from. It just apparently is a thing. I'd have to go and like dig around in like old codices maybe. Should the mods be called the 8? Well, the mods are Ben, Luke, Rowan, and Alexis. There's only 4, and if I associate Alexis with a Tau, she's gonna flip. She's gonna flip. So we're all familiar with the Earthcast character in 40k. Have you given thought to a character for Age of Sigmar that would be you? The challenge for that is I haven't invested in the Age of Sigmar universe the same. Like, as much as I'm a bit of a scientist and an engineer, I'm always going to be someone who's more obsessed with lore. I'm going to be a lore person and a narrative sort of person. So I'd want to be some sort of chronicler. But there's no such faction that we're particularly aware of yet in Azerheim or elsewhere. So it's kind of hard for me to say because we haven't got a race that is dedicated to chronicling history or that generally is known for being historians. And did that move? No, it's fine. Yeah. Like, an engineer makes sense, but then there are also human engineers and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Because I'd need sort of a reason to take up history as well as science. And I mean, the Ordinator is an engineer for the Stormcast. So I honestly don't know. I don't know, honestly. Apparently Pert being 4th Primarch needs a citation. Well, yeah, everyone knows he's the 4th Primarch, but it just is not, someone's just forgotten to post the reference. I think. Oh no, it's fine. Why is that telling me to sign in to chat? Oh, flip. I didn't mean to do that. Alt left. Alt left doesn't work. Okay, good. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Harlequin's got the really Italian according to Lexa Cotton. Yeah, I know, I've looked it up, but there's no source on Lexa Cotton for where the name comes from. That's what we're wanting to check, is what's the source on that. I was rereading the Demon's Lore and I found the most you done goofed moment. 100,000 Demon Knights have made the Rust planet of Ferrite Mons, where the planet's thing. We know the Emperor could talk to people, that happened in an Inquisitor novel as well. But the whole thing about the Emperor telling the Custodes to get Alicia Dominica, source please lol. Please give a source. Some say that the Emperor spoke to Alicia Dominica. Some say that she was just inspired by his very presence. We don't know. And the Custodes, as far as we were aware, took it upon themselves to get Dominica. There's no reference anywhere that I'm aware of, at the very least, to the Emperor doing so. If you know different, do tell me, but I believe that's to be the case. And yeah, there's no source on the Realitan thing. Reliatan? Relitan? I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Realitan? Oh god. That's a really annoying word. It's not a word that rolls off the tongue easily. Would Alexis bleep herself before Grim returns? If the model was good, she'd probably fangirl very, very hard. Beyond that, I don't know. And it's not my place. 100,000 Demon Knights invade the Rust planet Ferrite Mons, while the planet's overly privileged ruler jokingly invites the handmaids of Senesh to his feast. Yeah, that's a you done effed it up moment. That's a you done flipped it up moment. Anyway, shall we take a look at this cryptech? Since it's been a while since we actually did that, let's have a look at this cryptech. So, this cryptech is actually armed with what's called a Canoptech Cloak. We don't get to see it really from the back, but I think he's got like a Canoptech spider on his back. So, what it does is it gives him move 10 and the fly keyword. In addition, at the start of your turn, you can select one friendly Dynasty model with a living metal ability within 3 inches to regain D3 wounds instead of 1. As far as I'm aware, that's your vehicles. Relatan? Yeah, maybe. The IE to me has an E or an I sound. Yeah. So this is just going to help increase the healing of certain models. It's not super special, but if you camp up correctly and move around well with your 10-inch move, you can certainly get some use out of the Canoptech Cloak. And having fly, whilst it will hurt against Tau, is mostly a good thing. Working 4K story inspired me to do so, I have to say go for it. Well, good. You always welcome more people going for it. I just hope it's going well and it's good. Of course, everyone has a different perception of good. Alexis has weird nicknames for everything, bear in mind. So for a handful of extra points, you're able to significantly... He pays so much wider range of Necrons. Dynasty 7 Sept. Yeah, Dynasty is Sept. It's the keyword thing. Could an original Electricity Divinitatis use Penwide Lorgab use the Holy Relic to banish his Demon Prince form? That would be kind of funny. That would be a bit weird, but kinda hilarious. I'd love to see somebody try that. Even if it's not true, I still think that would be hilarious to just see someone try it. Templar Dreadnought perspective against Tyranids. Okay, that sounds interesting. I mean, interesting to see it from a Dreadnought's perspective because we don't see that very often. Hoping Gauss gets some good rules. Well, we'll see. Thought Magnus trying to warn the Emperor about Horus's betrayal and breaking the web where he was the biggest done flipped up moment. Oh yeah, like that was a massive mistake. But I think Magnus's actual mistake was not the actual breaking of the webway. It was the fact he didn't really stick around to explain himself. He didn't like say, sorry, I needed you to hear this. Bang, here's the information. If you need to talk, sorry. If you're busy, sorry, I'll just go. And if you want me to stick around, then I'll come back, then give me a bell and I'll come back and we'll have a talk once you've got things under control. I do massively apologise. But he just was like, oh shit, ran. That was Magnus's secondary mistake. Okay, that's not working. Alright. Thanks for trying, Rowan. Apologies. Yeah, this is a fair point actually about maneuverability versus protection. So yeah, the counter cloak got to be a really nice boost. Just want to see Gilliman smack him with a book or at least read about it in a novel. Ha! Hold on, Rowan. You finally made it work. Thank you, I do appreciate that. I've finally done it. Yep, generic meme option. I knew you were gonna do that, you jackass. Out-predicted. Out-predicted. I'm just curious to see what people are gonna say, really. No, I don't want to go to casino, thank you. Okay, well, look through the old lexicon page on Lexicon and it links to White Dwarf 53 from January 2015. Okay. Well, there's a source on it at least. There is a source on it. Okay, good to know. Thank you for doing that. I appreciate that because I just don't have the time or the CPU capacity to go trawling about on Lexicon to try and find it, unfortunately. I'm going to try and track down a copy. Bloody hell, that's dedication. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that a lot. Eh, still appreciated. Oh, I thought the blooming Necron thing was in there. Hang on. Where were those Necron rules? Ah, there they are. How is Marati not chaos if she was chewed up and spat out by Senesh? She was not spat out. She fought her own way out. She hates Senesh. Absolutely hates it. That's where we every Thursday. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. If you're blue, you can know where to go to. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. I should not have done that. Marathi might actually be key for Senesh's escape. Yeah, by accident. Because the fact that Marathi's been siphoning off too many souls, basically, she's sort of pulled some of, like, the scent of Senesh has been pulled toward Urgu, whereas it should be split between Urgu and Haish. And that means that the seekers of those hunting for Senesh are able to pick up that scent and are thundering into Urgu. How's your Arrow painting going? Fine. Like, I've got 1 Vanguard Hunter left to do and then 3 Vanguard Paladors, and then the army hits 4k. I've already got enough units to do next week, week after this episode of Town Called Malice ready. Then after that I'll do the units I've been working on at the moment, hopefully, and then I'll probably call the series on a break at that point. I haven't got a video for Monday though. I need to decide what to do for Monday, so do let me know if there's a video you particularly want me to do for Monday. Yes, Marathi has met Valyrian. They didn't exactly get on, but they allied, joined the Pantheon of Sigmar. Then there was a bit of a falling out. Then Valyrian found her afterwards and convinced her to come back to the Grand Alliance with the whole capturing Senesh thing. So it's a tenuous alliance. What old world character would you like to see return with 2 forms? Valyrian, maybe Elf and Elf, Dragon, Ogre form. Well, Valyrian's back anyway. I suspect he's in just permanent Super Doom form, but yeah. I don't know about anybody else. Like, Marathi works because of what happened to her, but most characters don't make it through the world that was because they're not demons and the like, or gods. They're not demons and gods, basically. Demons, gods, and coincidentally Marathi. Well, I made this actually a shorter stream than usual. I don't know if I can go for the full 2 hours like I usually do. I might just go for an hour and a bit and then call it. I have not done that Imperial Guard Regiment, no. But bear in mind I don't do lore on Mondays. Bear in mind Monday is my everything else day. Saturday is lore, Monday is everything else. So hobby projects, my thoughts on battle reports when they come up. Generally I don't do lore on Mondays. I think the one time I did lore on a Monday was my fanfiction lore of my my character. That's the one time I've done a lore video on a Monday. So just bear that in mind. Marathi reminds me of the Incarn for some reason. I can kinda get that. Sort of, maybe, ish. I sort of get what you're saying, but again, no. Yeah. Yeah, but no, but. That's the phrase I'm going to use. Yeah, but no, but. Let's see, what's his name there? Dikala. I don't know that name. I'll be honest, I don't know that name. Right, let's take a look at these Necrons, I think. So that I've done all the news in any event. I've done all the... Oh, flip, that's miles over. Hang on. Sorry, my bad. I'm bad at this. Now, I've tried to zoom in on this, and it doesn't work. That's what I was faffing about with the frame rate died like 2 minutes ago. The problem is, like, when you suggest like obscure regiments, there's just not enough information to make a full video. Always the case. Always the case, and I always bring that up because to make a full video like 20 minutes, also I'd have to write a script. And it's like I've sort of got a bit of a loose plan on for lore. It's like, I know what I'm doing for this, I know what I'm doing for that, and that, and that, and that. So I'm trying to just weave something in, it's not perfect. So anyway, let's have a look at these. I've tried to zoom in on them, and I can't, so bear with me. So let's try that. Ah, they're called codes. They're called codes. Good to know. How's that? Ah, that's pretty good. So, Mefrit Dynasty code. And Every time a model with this code shoots an enemy unit within half range of maximum range, the armor penetration is improved by 1. Ow. Get up close, your guns get absolutely silly. Oh yeah, Gotrek survived because Gotrek. That's true. So yeah, this is going to be good for the close range shooting Necron armies. So armies that will have probably a lot of Tesla over Gauss, because Gauss already has some AP on it. Tesla will probably benefit more from this. Nagash probably still beats Marathi just because of magic, although Marathi takes a long time to kill-ish. Like, it takes at least probably it'll take at least 2 rounds to kill Marathi, more than likely 3. If Marathi can close distance, she might actually do alright in snake form, but I would always back Nagash. I always would. So yeah, Maverick's going to be fun, particularly under the long-range guns that have got like a 60 or a 72 inch or a stupidly long range. That's just going to be like, have a free -1 AP on your guns. Yeah. So every time my Dark Imperial transfers that breaks as I put them on my minis, is this from for anyone else? I've had transfers break on me in the past. It's quite rare that that happens, but I've had them break on me in the past. Just get them really, really wet and damp. Just get them really, really damp. That might help. And also he has an instant death spell. That's true. And Marathi is not immune to those. And now I've got hiccups. Balls. So, Sautek. How far? A bit further. Could we get a Sigmar model? I doubt it. I doubt it. So, if a unit with the Sautek code advances and treats all ranged weapons as equipped as assault weapons till end of turn, including heavy weapons, so that's nice. In addition, unless it has advanced, it does not suffer the penalty for moving and firing with a heavy weapon. So, this is pretty powerful. It's not going to be super, like, mega amazing, but the move and fire heavy weapons for free is just going to be nice. Yeah, Marathi needs several turns to kill Nagash. Nagash will just kill her too fast. I think that's what I'd say. Is like Marathi will be great against most heroes, but against the big bads, like maybe Star Drakes, Archaon, Nagash, she will lose. I do think she will lose. So yeah, Sautek's going to have its uses. It depends on like how much heavy weapons you're willing to spam. Because it basically just gives you move and fire heavy weapons for free. And the free bonuses to assault means that you can run and fire with a lot of guns, which is just kind of nice. No, Marathi actually does not take full turns to finish off unless you transform her before she takes a single point of damage. The way Marathi works is when she transforms, whether by force or by choice, the amount of wounds she's taken carries over and doubles. So if Marathi has taken 3 wounds in human form, she takes 6 wounds in snake form, so she starts at 6. If she's taken 2 wounds, she takes 4 in snake form, so she starts with 8. So she has to have taken only 1 wound in human form, in elf form, before she goes snake to take 4 turns to finish off. What army in AOS do you think need a buff? Oh god, I don't know. I don't play the game enough. I've only played against certain armies and like, I honestly don't know. Like every army has some really deplorable things it can do. So I honestly don't know. What Imperial Regiment would like to see unique models? Oof. Leader's got him, Krieg's got him, Mordian's got him, Valhalla's got him. It does Valhalla? Yeah, I think it's got the odd one for Valhalla. Like, I think all of the basic ranges, or the basic regiments that aren't KD Katachan could do with fleshing out. Beyond that, I don't know, and I don't particularly mind either, in all truth. Obligatory Metal Gear Solid reference. Ding! Right, next on the list we have the Nearlock Dynasty. Reroll hit rolls of 1 for units whenever they shoot, including firing Overwatch, so long as they did not move and have not disembarked from a transport. So, yeah, this is effectively like the Borkan Sept, I think. Is it Borkan or Delith? No, it's neither. I talked about the Town Codex in my previous 2 live streams. I talked about them in both Tuesdays and Friday streams from last week. So I did Tau and Borkan on Tuesday, which came out the Wednesday, and Farsight, Delith, and Viola the Friday. So that's why I've talked about the traits there, and it'll come up on podcast this week as well. So yeah, stand still, reroll once to hit. Decent, again, not gonna, well actually that could be pretty damn powerful. That could be really, 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 really powerful. I'm probably not in a good position to judge. That could be really strong. That could be really strong. So let's work left to the Nephrek Dynasty. Now this is a dynasty we haven't heard much of before, if we've heard of them at all. If you do with this code advances, add 6 inches to its move characteristic for that movement phase instead of rolling a dice, so you get a free automatic 6-inch run. But if you have My Will Be Done or Wave of Command, then add 7 instead. So that's what My Will Be Done seems to do, is give you a +1 to runs, perhaps. In addition, if the unit with this code advances, it can move across models and terrain as if they were not there. What? That's really interesting. And yes, I know really, quote unquote, that is really interesting. You can teleport through enemy units. That's so fun. That's so fun. So that your cannot take raids can just add 6 or 7 inches to their move and just pass through units like they're not there. Actually, I think raids might be able to do that. But your destroyers, actually no, they've got fly. I'm trying to think of a unit that couldn't do this before that now can. Crap. What could do this that couldn't before? I don't know. I'm struggling. Well, it doesn't say hover because they don't get the fly keyword. They basically get teleport. So their run move is a teleport shunt. That's basically what they do. Their run moves are teleport shunts. I tried what you said, but it teared before I got out of the transfer paper. Now I know what you do is making shoulder pads to put into emblem sculpted on them because I can paint their emblem. Fair. Yeah, they just warp through objects and terrains. Just like, I'm behind a wall. I'm now no longer behind a wall. Here you go. Bang. Bear in mind, you do have to advance to do this. So any penalties that you would incur, like -1 to hit or unable to shoot, is still going to apply because you're not the Celtech dynasty who treat their weapons as assault if they advance. So bear that in mind. You're going to suffer a bit for your shooting if you do so, but damn is that fun, and they've got so many tactical applications, particularly in games that are like Cities of Death, where the board is incredibly dense. That's really, really fun. And finally, we have the Novok dynasty. I remember these guys. Crimson Host of Novok, grown before the sacred rites of blooding performed by the warriors. This is proud martial hundreds of ways to sparkle violent pride, adding power and ferocity, and I've got pins and needles in my foot. This is incredibly painful. Ow. Ah. Ooh, pins and needles. You can reroll failed hit rolls in the fight phase for units with this code if they were charged, or performed a heroic intervention. This pins and needles. Ow. Sorry. So this is the Farsight Warlord trait. Isn't it? This is the Farsight Warlord trait, isn't it? Hang on. Flipping heck. I'm just going to mute my mic for a second because, ow. Okay, I've pretty much shook the pins and needles now. Farsight Enclaves. What am I looking at? Yeah, it's kind of similar to the... No, I killed the audio because I was just wanted to get rid of my pins and needles, and the easiest way to do that was just by shaking it out, and that was going to be quite unpleasant. So yeah, Hero of the Enclaves, Heroic Intervention, diddly-diddly, you go into 6, diddly-diddly. If your Warlord was charged with one Heroic Intervention, until the end of the turn you can reroll failed hit rolls made for them. So basically they're taking the Farsight Warlord trait and turned it into a Dynasty code. Okay. Okay. So this army, you're playing Lichguard, Tri-Praetorians, and stuff. That's what you're doing. That's how this army is going to function if you play Novok. Yeah, I mean, honestly, the Neferak? Was it? Neferak? Was it Neferak? Nefrak. Nearly. Nefrak. That is just so much fun. I think the most powerful is probably going to be... I'm going to go with probably Nealak, Sautek or Mefret, but Nefrak is going to be really fun, and Novok, whilst it's a bit niche because it forces you to go down a melee, or it encourages you to go down a melee route, it's going to be a very different build, and I appreciate that. Like, these guys are going to be all about high speed and maneuverability, and in Necrons, maneuverable Necrons is fun. Maneuverable Necrons is going to be well fun. Okay, yeah, I say Dynasty, not Dynasty. Whoop-de-doo. Like, I say Lieutenant rather than Lieutenant, and yes, I know it looks like Lieutenant because it's based off the French Lieu, but we do say Lieutenant. I say Lieutenant, and I make a point of saying Lieutenant. Some of my words maybe are a bit Americanism, but it's also about how quickly they roll off the tongue. Like, Dynasty is just faster than Dynasty. I get it, I get what you're saying. That's just all it is. If you try to stop a shooting, we'll just bludgeon you to death. Yeah, basically. That's not how light works, game. So if they transform into beams of light, alright, I'll get crossing open ground, but if you hit a wall, light does not pass through a wall. Light does not pass through walls. Photons are generally absorbed, unless you want to tell me that this is going to be a bit of a scattering effect, where the photon's going to come in, hit a particle, and be deflected again. Yeah. Aluminium. Yeah, aluminium. There's an I. I know. Bloody Yanks. Now, let's not get snippy about other people's languages and cultures, not what we do here. True, there is Northern English, then there's the Queen's English. That's very true. Or, as you say, Stephen Fry English. But yes, we up north have a very different way of saying things compared to them lot down south. And we don't say down south, down south. I say down south. I've got one of the more southern northern accents, like I generally pronounce my words. I don't skip t. I just don't skip words like that. It's just, yeah. I'm more southern than some people who live up north, but I'm not most northern. Not least northern either. God, that sounds horrible when I speak like that. I speak proper English, like I don't have a very hard dialect, I just have an accent. Whereas some people have a really hard dialect where they just can't speak. Rowan, you know exactly what I'm talking about. There are people in Barnsley who cannot English. Proper Barnsley, like, yeah, skip half-foot words out because that's just not, like, needed, is it? It's like, what's point? What's point of speaking up words and just get message across in, like, half a number of words? Just like, what's point? Get something down there. It's just, oh yeah. I hate the Barnsley accent. I hate the Barnsley accent. And Barnsley French. Oh, Barnsley French. I've told this story before, but I did some teaching when I was doing my A-levels. I helped my French teacher with... I helped my French teacher with his GCSE class. And effectively, basically, they didn't have... I've got a bit of a French accent, so I can speak with a bit of French in my accent. Oh god, if Alpha does that, I will absolutely flip. I was like, Alpha, no. Also, if Quest for Knowledge is canon in the TTS verse, and if I end up in Quest for Knowledge, then by that logic, I can't do that unless that's a secondary role. Just bear that in mind. We're not hillbillies. We might be more of the farmer type and the miners and stuff, because that's what we were given, that's what our country gives us. In terms of landscape and stuff, but we are not hillbillies and hicks. We don't run around with shotguns, bloody Americans. Efficiency, skip as many words as you can. Oh yeah, skip words, fine, I don't mind skipping odd the, but it's just like the accent makes it completely incomprehensible. Oh yeah, I was saying about Barnsley French. But yeah, like, je peux parler avec un accent français, c'est toujours, c'est anglais, mais on pourrait peut-être dire que c'est un peu français. But Barnsley French, oh my god, Barnsley French. Je m'appelle James, j'habite à Barnsley, dans le nord de Yorkshire, en Angleterre. The first time I heard that, I had to stop, think, I was like, no. We can't fix their accent, just get their French correct. That was all I could do, because Barnsley French scares the hell out of me. It's horrifying. It's utterly horrifying. Never mind. Hey, let's not be rude to the Welsh. I like the Welsh. I love the Welsh. Hope somebody gets that reference. Please stop. Yeah. Now you know, and I was teaching to that. I was teaching with that as my students. It was horrifying. It was utterly terrifying. How does one speak Orky in French? I don't know, because I'd have to butcher the French language to the point that I wouldn't be comfortable doing it. I can't. Well, in the south of England, we speak like the Queen and drink tea with our pinkies out. Ah, no, you don't. I've been down south. Not often, but I've been down south. I mean, you've got the Cockney accent for a start, and that is as anti-Queen's English as you get. Yorkshire Imperial Regiment. It's like, yeah, easiest regiment in the world to supply. You just keep them an endless supply of recaf, which is, I'm assuming, like the nearest equivalent to tea, because they don't really have tea. Just like, keep the supply with recaf, and they're fine. That's it. Just tea, biscuits, done. No, but I can't do it. I would be so uncomfortable doing it. And bear in mind that I have to be trying to take something that's Orky, put it into French, and it's just no. Just no. Just no. No way, Pedro. No way, Pedro. Occitanian. Occitanian? Occitanian? I see that and I think Occidental, which is French for Western, is a oxy, which is a k sound, a x sound. But then I've seen it with a hard ch sound, yeah. Is it weird to you that the French have the France has the most ethnically Welsh population living just off the coast? Oh, the Breton. Yeah, they refuse to call themselves French in Bretagne or Brittany. They are les Bretons. They are not Français. They are Bretons. You call them French, you're in trouble. What do you call the French war boss? Le war boss, of course.
I hate you and your memes and all that you stand for.
That actually hurt my head. God damn it. Oh, that's so stupidly dumb. God damn it. Alright, you get a brownie point. Easy to give orcs a Jamaican accent. We's gonna stomp the universe flat, man, and kill anything that fights back. Cause we the orcs and we's born to fight and to win. That's the most racist thing I've ever said, but you know what I mean. No, orcs is Cockney. Oi, we's gonna stop the universe flag. Oh, I'm gonna stop now because this is just meme central. I'm so glad the animator doesn't watch my live streams because this would just be meme central. Oh god, this is why I don't say meme shit on the podcast, because it would just be the stupidest idea. The animator would just utterly savage me. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I don't think they'd use human teeth in a chopper. Way too flimsy. Way too flimsy. Like orc teeth, that, yeah, maybe. Although that would be the biggest waste ever because teeth are also currency for orcs. So it would just be, you'd just be basically sticking money. It'd be like making bottle cap mines in Fallout. You're basically just turning, yeah. Occitan is language spoken in the southern half of France, is not considered official by the French government. Okay, fair enough, I hadn't heard of it. What's the Twitter for Animaticus? I follow him, so you can easily find it that way. I don't think he goes by Animaticus. I think he goes by his channel name rather than by Animaticus. So if you really, really, really have to, then fine. Oh yes, it's pie day, so we might as well talk about pie. Meat and potato. Absolutely meat and potato. Teeth on a buzz. Teeth of a buzzy chopper means big chopper you get. Ah, lol. Actually, that sort of reminded me. I wanted to mention this earlier, but obviously as a physicist, today's been an interesting day because this morning / last night we found out that Professor Stephen Hawking had passed away. I know it's a complete change of tone, I know it's not probably what people are here to talk about, but as a physicist I kind of just wanted to mention it because damn it, that man was absolutely inspirational to generate, we will be for generations of physicists. Given like 2 years to live at 22, and then living for another 55 years after that. Truly incredible. And his contribution to physics can't be overlooked at all. He's not the reason I got into physics. I didn't do it for personal, like, hero reasons. I did it because I want to understand how the world works, but damn, that was tough to see this morning. So yeah, I just wanted to say that because I've not said anything on Twitter or on Facebook, even personally today. But yeah, that was tough. Still, at least he gets to prove whether the theory of God is correct, because he'll now know one way or the other. Also, Einstein's birthday, because convenient. Perfect. couldn't really have written it any better. I swear they couldn't have written it better. Right, where were we? Artstarium was probably in the Middle Ages to the end of the 19th century. It was the language of bards in Europe, and the catharsis were around there. Interesting. It was, I believe the Americans know it as ALS, but we in the UK would call it motor neurone disease. It was spelled Hawking. It was with a G, not an S. I saw it misspelled somewhere. Yeah, I'm just getting a drink. Oh yeah, Jim Bowen as well. Bullseye host, right? Before my time, Bullseye, so I'm not really an expert. But yeah. I hadn't heard about Ken Dodd. I hadn't heard about Ken Dodd, though, yeah. And yeah, sympathies to you. Sorry, I didn't mean to derail the stream at all, but just wanted to say something. Also. Anyway, where were we? Oh, I'm no good at economics. I just basically take what money I've got and make sure I don't run out of it. That's it. I'm bad at economics. Like I try and think about economics, but I'm bad at them. Where did I see Tau Titans? I think we will eventually. I don't know. I don't think we'll get them soon because like the Storm Surge is the brand new development designed to counter like Knights and Titans. I mean, one day maybe. I can't do that. I'll get copyright struck. Also, the last time I played music, it crashed the stream, so probably not. I don't know if I consider the bloody Storm Surge to be mini Titans. Like the Riptide is like a mini Knight because it's one man pilot murder machine. Same with that, and like yeah, you've got the I've forgotten its name again. The Town R. That's it, the Town R. We've got the Town R and the Storm Surge, like mega armor, but I don't know if I call them Titans per se. Town R always needs bigger battle suits. Oh yeah, of course they do, because they need to be able to compete not only in size but also in big scary guns. What new regiment rules would you like to see? Oh god, Krieg. Like in terms of rules we don't have, like Krieg and Elysia would be good regiment tactics. Beyond that, I don't know. Honestly, I think they've got the right set for the codex. They've got a bit of everything. I don't know what the exact reaction to the Imperial Titans was, besides, oh my god, they're huge, and oh my god, how have we not killed them yet because they're so tough. There will be a mix of that. I remember, what was the name of the battle? It was, I think, one of the battles under Lith that caused the near death of Commander Bravestorm. And there's just a quote from like a Tau commander, and he just goes, "By the greater good, those Galar have a lot of tanks." I can't stream out and about because no, my phone just wouldn't handle that, and the internet cost would be way too high. And I always talk about, if people do want to talk about stuff other than 40k and AOS, I do, but we generally don't. Biggest gun? I don't know about rules that you're suggesting Lucifer Black. The biggest guns I can think of, obviously, are things like the Blacksmith Fortresses, the Planet Killer, and then for ground-based weapons you have the Ordinatus guns, which are obviously bloody huge. Nova Cannons, yeah, they're a fleet-based thing, but yep, kind of works. Give you current rating out of 10 for what you have seen of the Tau Codex. I've seen very little. Honestly, I've seen very, very little. But... and also I don't know the meta well enough to define what constitutes a 5, what constitutes a 9, what constitutes a 1. Like, I think they're going to be mid-tier. Maybe upper mid-tier, so 6 to 8, maybe 7. I think 7 is the highest they'll get. I think 6 or 7 is probably what they'll get. Why do I have shivers all of a sudden? World Engine? True. No, I do not watch Netflix because I don't really have the time or the effort to want to do so. So, no. It's the answer to that question. I know of Netflix, I've just never bothered watching it because I don't see the point. Like, I don't watch much stuff anyway, so it's fine. I've still not watched Death of the Pope. I just, like, between one thing and another, I've just not. I should do, really, but I've just not. I've got no idea. Like, I faced CSM like once with my orcs, but yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I'm not the person to ask for competitive ratings. Honestly, I'm not, because I barely played in 6 months. I've barely played in 8 months, and I don't keep track of the meta. Like, Chaos Space Marines can do okay. Like, I think Death Guard and Thousand Suns might have them beat, but I don't know. Honestly, you'd have to go and ask someone who's better clued up on these things, like Alexis or whoever. Actually, I'm just going to put my little hoodie jacket thing on. Why is that here got constant? I don't know. Weird. I don't know why I didn't start with this on, if I'm honest. Oh no. Oh, I never looked at the bloody straw poll. I completely forgot to look at the cock and straw poll. Well done, me. I glanced at it very early on and it said, like, Eldar was ever slightly away, but yeah. Is the gateway for the warp on Molech still open, and would Lion use it as a power-up once awake? Don't know, and probably not. Thoughts on Lex's Tower audio? I kind of missed it because I was like either busy or ill. I kind of missed it, so I don't know. I've not really seen it. I'll have a look at it when I get a chance. I think leftover bits from Necromundi would make nice bits for Chaos Cultists. Yeah, that would work. That would definitely work. Actually, that's a really good call. it wouldn't look that. It would be like different components without looking all super chaotic. Ooh, full of iconography, just gonna murder you. Yeah, I think that's a good call. I like that call. Good suggestion. Well, the results, I can say I don't have it, and if I go scrolling back through the chat, then it's not as like if someone wouldn't. I've got to go scrolling back through the chat, so I'm just going to turn the chat off for a second while I go back and find it. Okay, so of the 10 votes that we got, 2 for Eldar, 4 for Eldari, 2 for Don't Care, and 2 for Generic Meme Option. So Eldari actually won, technically. Interesting. I also have 100 Escher Gang Girls for my Imperial Army. Oof, that's gonna be quite unique looking. No, not the word I'd use. Certainly, I don't get why you'd like Senesh, but Nurgle can be quite likeable. Senesh I don't get, but Nurgle I do get. AGs to the core bits, yeah, that might work as well. What is part of your local meta? Oh god, people change their armies every 10 minutes. Rowan sometimes plays Tau, sometimes plays Militarum Tempestus. James plays all sorts of crap. Ben generally plays Chaos. Other Ben generally plays Space Wolves. Kieran has Tyranids. It's a bit of a mix. Generic meme option. Oh dear. I think I might actually wrap the stream a little early this evening, so instead of going for the full 2 hours, I might just go for another 5 or 10 minutes and then call it that. Oh, it's actual proper guard. 2k points, wow. So you decided, oh look, there's the broken flavour of the month, spam it immediately. I guess the Eldari won technically the law. Have you never fought or have you battled the Gamut? That I'm assuming you mean Imperial Soup, and not really. Like I've faced sort of Imperial mix, like Assassins and Guard mixed together. I've faced a bit of Death Watch, but I've not faced full on Imperial Soup. No, I've not faced full on Imperial Soup. Steel Legion. Okay. Percentage chance on Plastic Sisters this edition. I'm going to go with a solid 30. Not impossible, but still, I'd say unlikely. Maybe 30 to 50%. Chimera's out the arse. Oh, yay. Thanks. Well, at least it's a different way of doing it. I do quite appreciate that. It's not just going to be blocks of infantry standing in a corner. I quite like that. All right. Fair enough. You've convinced me. Right, please stop cocking yawning. I do apologise, ladies and gentlemen. %. I think it's higher than that because like GW are willing to reference Plastic Sisters as one of their meme joke things, like the whole Squat release where they had the clocks. One of them was Plastic Sisters, so they're willing to acknowledge it as a joke. Yeah. What is the most 40k thing in 40k? Like the most grimdark metal thing? Oof. I'm not sure. Like, there's probably a bunch of candidates, and you'll all come up with something better than I can come up with. So have at it, chat. Fair enough. Tweet them at me if you like. Imperial Soup killed Necron army 3 times of. Ow. Ow. Yeah, you have my sympathies. Jeez Louise. Stop yawning, for God's sake. Just from where would you listen to a 40k audio book and it wants to start a new army based off it? See my Farsight lore video. Pretty easy to get 2,000 points of CSM just by start collecting the army book, and that's about 2k points. 2k points out of a start oh, in the army box. Right, okay, I'm with you now. I misread that. Guys, the girls tend to like orcs more than other race of 40k. I hadn't noticed it particularly, but then there's not really any that I'm aware of in my particular gaming group who play much, if at all. I have Terra. The entire Imperium? Best way to ask that question, yeah. I would agree with that. So yeah, let's see if we can get an answer to that, and then I'll call it a stream. Just I want to get back into routine and all of that stuff, because I still don't know what I'm going to do on Monday. I need to come up with something. Might just do my thoughts on rambly type thing, but I often end up doing those on stream now. I end up rambling on stream by accident. Luke plays demons now. Oh, I think I heard that actually, damn it. So having the Codex for Tau, I don't have it yet. I don't personally own it. Plus I'd have to actually put them on the table to get any sense of their power. Imperial Regiment planets where they give a child a gun before they're old enough to walk. So Cadia then. And Katachan. I think, yeah. Cadia and Katachan would fit that. But yeah, I think Tau are better than they were, but they're still not going to be top tier. I really don't think so. They'll be alright, they might be good for a while, but they certainly won't last in top tier, I don't think. They'll not beat Imperial Soup. I doubt they'll beat Eldari because they have no psychic defense. Yeah. I'm sorry. I wouldn't say the Catan, because the Catan were just like stellar, as far as I'm aware, just like stellar entities that were put into living metal bodies and just had to lord it over the Necron tier like gods. I don't consider the Catan now. Yeah, that's not a bad plan. Always ask to see what they've got in stock. And if not, just order it offline. Online. Order it online. Crossbreed Catachans and Cadians. I think it's like the Cadian like harsh discipline versus the Catachan lack of discipline. Lack of obedience to off-worlders and other authorities might make things difficult. Now, Catachan prowess with Cadian discipline would be the dream of your average general. Catachan like stealth and combat combined with Cadian fire discipline and general discipline. Yeah. That would be one hell of a combo. As you say. Extrastellar consumers of all cosmic energy that enslaved an entire galactic race and then lost and was shattered into fragments. I can't go with the Catan. Like, just like powerful gods from another dimension that, yeah, I think the whole, like, the fact that they're now enslaved to the Necrons makes them a bit more interesting, but I wouldn't say it makes them grimdark. Like, all-powerful gods that rule over a race, that is a very old trope. It's a really old trope. Creed did not die on Cadia. We think Trazin's got him. It's not explicitly stated, I believe, but Trazin is believed to have him. Catachan with Orc. Oh, dearie me. And on that bombshell, ladies and gentlemen, Xenos of all ages, I think I'm going to call it a night. So thank you for coming out. I know it's been a little bit shorter than a usual stream, but I just want to get back into doing streaming and catching up with everything and stuff like that, because I've been sort of off the grid with my parents coming over this weekend and the last couple of days. So I want to get back into rhythm, and hopefully I can do a video on Monday, though I'm not quite sure what. I'll probably just do my thoughts on ramble type thing, but I'm not quite sure at this exact moment. So with all that said, thank you very much for coming out. I do appreciate it, and I hope you've enjoyed the stream. I know it's been a bit laggy, particularly at the start, although it does seem to have cleared itself up later on. And of course we had the audio issues, and I know I broke somebody's eardrums, and for that I also apologise. Yeah. But anyway, thank you very much for watching, guys. It's been a pleasure as always. It's been Tactica Imperialis, and I'll see you all again. Goodbye.